Right, everyone, welcome to Jasper's History Facts. Well, today is September the 22nd, and on this day in 1692, the Salem witch trials held their final executions. 8 people to be hanged. So the Salem witch trials, for those that are not aware, are a set of trials for people that are purported to be witches that lead to normally ridiculous things, like that saying, oh, these people are a witch because of this, and if we do this and they survive, well, they were a witch, and if they don't, big whoop. Kind of pretty awful. It's kind of a mix of hysteria and blame games. Witch trials themselves started in Europe in about the 1300s, maybe a little earlier. We're not 100% sure, but the big ones were definitely in the 1300s to the 1400s. Not something unique, really, like witch trials in general, but yeah, that's really the biggest point, though, is the 13 to 1400s, and it existed up until about the 1700s. The Salem witch trials are actually some of the last big witch trials, really. In total, the Salem witch trials themselves executed about 19 people, so pretty awful, really. They really start with a man named Samuel Parris, who is the new pastor at the time of the town of Salem. So I shouldn't say the town of Salem, the village of Salem. There is 2 Salems in Massachusetts at this time. There is Salem Town, which is the modern town of Salem, Massachusetts, and there is Salem Village, which is a small community, about 500 people. So that's actually where these trials really started and where they took place. Parris is a Puritan, and so Puritans really follow the word of the Bible to kind of a very, very extreme degree sometimes. That's what the Pilgrims were, things like that. What happens is Parris's daughter, his niece, and their friend come down with a fits. Now, what were these fits? We're not 100% sure. We know that there were things like seizures, laughing fits, things like that. We're not 100% sure what they fully were, but that's the basic idea of what we thought. The doctor at the time doesn't have any idea what they are caused by, so he just says, oh, well, it must be supernatural. So they first think, okay, well, it was a witch that bewitched them, so they do this thing in the town, which is a witch cake. They take the urine of the victims, and they bake it into a cake to try to find the victim. Samuel himself says this is blasphemy, and pressures the girls, and they say, oh, these 3 people who didn't show up to church very often did it, and that starts the trials. Really, really awful. But definitely look more into this, and now you know.